Hello everyone. Today we will discuss the word category pronouns. Our main aim is to learn about pronouns and their distributional criteria, that is, the position they occupy. To learn about their features, that is, the grammatical information they carry. To learn about their antecedents, or in other words, their reference in the discourse or in the world. And finally, to learn how to describe pronouns in a complete way. This presentation will develop in the following way. First, we will discuss the position pronouns occupy in the sentence. Then, the type of phrase pronouns are part of, and the features that are associated to them. Later, we will analyze the characteristic of pronouns and their antecedents. And finally, we will characterize the types of pronouns that are in English. And at the end of this presentation, we will present a brief summary of the main concepts concerning pronouns. Let's start discussing pronouns and their distributional criteria. Pronouns are functional categories that appear on their own. That is to say, they do not take nouns or noun phrases as complement. They are the only element present in the phrase. Pronouns replace determiner phrases. Let's see how this works in the sentence. The teacher told the students that her husband had got a new car. Here we can identify 4 DPs. DP1 is the teacher, DP2 the students, DP3 her husband, and DP4 a new car. These DPs can be replaced by pronouns. So, DP1 can be replaced by pronoun she. DP2 can be replaced by pronoun them. DP3 can be replaced by he. And DP4 can be replaced by it. So, as a result, we get this sentence. She told them that he had got it. As you can see, DPs are replaced by pronouns, which are also contained in a DP. This shows that pronouns appear in the same position as other determiner phrases. Now, let me ask you, can DPs be replaced by any pronoun? We will discuss it in the following slide. So now we will discuss pronouns, their features and antecedents. Pronouns generally have an antecedent in the discourse, that is to say, a referent. So let's see how this works in a text. We will read an extract from The Little Prince. The text reads, I showed my masterpiece to the grown-ups and asked them whether the drawing frightened them, but they answered, frightened? Why should anyone be frightened by a hat? My drawing was not a picture of a hat, it was a picture of a boa constrictor digesting an elephant. In this text, we can see that the pronouns them and they have a referent, which is the grown-ups. Then the pronoun it also has a referent, which is the DP my drawing. This means that them and they refer back to the grown-ups, and the pronoun it refers back to my drawing. So the DPs, the grown-ups, and my drawing are the antecedents of the pronouns that replace them. Now, it is important to know that we cannot replace the referent by any pronoun. It has to be one with the same features. And pronouns do not refer back to any DP. So, for instance, my masterpiece cannot be the antecedent or referent of pronoun them. But why? What's the problem? Well, even though it appears earlier in the discourse, we cannot claim my masterpiece is the antecedent of them, because there is a clash in features between the DP, my masterpiece, which is in the third person singular, and pronoun them, which is in the third person plural number. This shows that pronouns have features about person and number, and that is why they cannot replace any DP. And that is also why a given DP cannot be replaced by any pronoun. Pronouns have to share the same features as their antecedents. In the following slide, we will see this in detail. So, in the text we have seen before, we saw that the DP, the grown-ups, is the antecedent of pronouns them and they. All of them, as you can see, share the same features, which are third person plural number. Then, the DP, my drawing, is the referent of pronoun it. Again, both of them share the same features, which are third person singular number. This is because the pronoun and the DP referent always share the same features. So let's see all the pronouns types. As you can see, there are 8 types of pronouns: personal pronouns, possessive pronouns, indefinite pronouns, relative pronouns, interrogative pronouns, demonstrative pronouns, reflexive pronouns, and expletive pronouns. In the slides that follow, we will discuss them in detail. The first type we will discuss is personal pronouns. These pronouns refer to the first, second, and third person in the discourse, either in the singular or plural number. These are I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they, or me, you, him, her, it, us, you, and them. These are grouped in 2 because they belong to different types of personal pronouns. The ones above are called personal subjective pronouns, whereas the ones below are called personal objective pronouns. One example of a personal subjective pronoun is she in the sentence "she loves music," and an example of a personal objective pronoun is it in "Susan loves it." As you can see, they occupy different positions, so she is a personal subjective pronoun because it occupies the subject position in the sentence. On the other hand, it is a personal objective pronoun because it occupies the object position. This means that it is the complement of a verb or a preposition, as in the example "I talked to her," where her is a personal objective pronoun, complement of the preposition to. The second type of pronoun we will describe is possessive pronouns. They indicate possession. Let's see some examples. That car is yours. This book is mine. This hat is his. This phone is hers. This house is ours. This bag is theirs. In these sentences, yours, mine, his, hers, ours, and theirs are possessive pronouns. We know they are pronouns because they do not select any complements. Let's compare these 2 sentences. This hat is his versus this is his hat. We can see that in one, his appears on its own. It has no complements, whereas in 2, his takes the MP, hat, as complement because it is a possessive determiner. So when describing a word such as his, we should be careful and pay attention to its distribution. If it has no complements, then it is a possessive pronoun, but if it has an MP complement, it is a determiner. Now we will discuss demonstrative pronouns. They are used to point out a person or thing. There are only 4 members in this class. The first one is that, as in look at that, this, as in listen to this, these, as in these are my books, and those, as in please give me those. Here, again, we should be careful and do not confuse demonstrative pronouns with demonstrative determiners. Let's check these 2 sentences. 1. This car is blue. 2. This is blue. In 1, we can see a demonstrative determiner that selects the MP car as complement. On the other hand, in 2, there is a demonstrative pronoun which appears on its own. That is to say, it does not select any complements. Well, in this slide, we will analyze interrogative pronouns. As their name indicates, they introduce questions. For example, who's knocking at the door? Where are you going? When are you coming? As you can see, who introduces the question, who's knocking at the door? Where introduces the question, where are you going? And when introduces the question, when are you coming? Of course, as in the previous types, we should pay attention to these pronouns distribution. Let's see 2 examples. 1. Which car is yours? 2. Which is your car? In the first example, which is a determiner because it selects the MP car as complement. In the second example, which is a pronoun because it does not select any complements.